And we're live. Thanks again for joining us for another
Oh, hey.
podcast here, live in the Washington D.C. area. Hello to all our viewers out there. So, Brendan.
Chris, I really appreciate you having me on, first and foremost. This is a great show. I like what you're doing here, so I'm happy to be here. Now, today I want to talk a little bit more about, snow, how it forms and the science behind it. And so the reality is that mostly snow forms in the upper levels of the atmosphere because of colder temperatures. But what makes snow hit the ground is the temperatures here on the ground. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting stuff, obviously, Chris. What are your thoughts on snow?
Is cold.
Isn't it great? Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So as I noted, based on the temperature on the ground, is whether or not snow will actually accumulate or even reach the ground. So if you have atmospheric temperatures in the cloud where snow is generally forming, and that's at 0 degrees or less, then that's when snow crystals form. But it also needs to be very dry in the atmosphere. You can't have a lot of moisture, otherwise the globules will be too large to actually form ice. Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a story that happened just today. Actually, I was walking down the street, and I had to walk through the snow to get to my job, and I crushed some of those globules under my feet, and it was the weirdest thing because it's white and it's snowy and it's frozen, and so I really know what you're talking about when you say these things. And by the way, great plants. I love the plants. I love the ambiance in your office. Can you tell us a little bit more about your...
Me in my story hearing kind of phase. I like to sit back.
Wait, Brendan, wait 1 minute. We have a special guest. That's John in the kitchen. Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Okay, thanks, John. All right, so John's one of my producers.
Further talk about that formation of snow. I think most importantly, as humans are concerned, we need to really talk about the seriousness of snow survival. And in order to do that, you really need to focus on a few key things. So if you're having an impending snowstorm, you want to think about a few things like, all right, what supplies do I need? Okay, for every 24 hours you plan to be snowed in, this is the first tip, you're going to need at least 4 types of alcohol. Okay. They could be wine, beer, you're choosing, but make sure you have at least a handle of hard liquor, because that's going to come in necessary when you're trapped in your house. Second thing you're going to need is
how you use alcohol to snow.
Well, I find that most good snowstorms prevent most of us from going into our job. So from my perspective, what's better to do than to drink as soon as you wake up? So if you maintain a good consistency of liquor and don't overdo it, you'll be able to drink all day long. And I think this behind that's actually really interesting.
It's really hitting home for me all of a sudden. For a guy that doesn't drink, there's no better time right now than to take up alcohol when it's snowing outside, because
this is absolutely.
I need to stay warm. And my own health is not nearly as important as staying warm when it's cold outside. So if I need to drink,
absolutely. That drink actually helps warm your body. Now it's actually kind of a fake sensation. You're actually limiting your blood flow. It does constrict your blood vessels, absolutely. So, but other than that,
I think if you drink a fifth of alcohol, and once you tip over that tipping point, and you go, you're moving into a liter of vodka. As you move up, you actually sort of you get strong
of that increase.
Right. And the warmth in your body goes up, and suddenly snow starts to melt just when you start touching it. A lot of people don't know this, but when you consume liters of vodka, you actually melt the snow around you because the alcohol pours out of your body. And that's a good sign when the alcohol is streaming through your pores. People can smell it around you.
Anything you take in to general rule of thumb, you're going to want to evacuate from the body at some point. So absolutely, you want that natural flow, and it's just like as moisture gains out in the atmosphere, there's more potential for snow, and it's going to evacuate from our atmosphere.
I know.
Yeah, it's just the natural processes of life. Absolutely, I think you hit it right on the head.
You're preaching to the choir.
I would start with the largest bottle because as you get down, your preferences change, and then you have access to other smaller options.
Like this is what I keep. This is what I keep on hand. Just for today, let me give you an example. So this is I've consumed all of this actually in the past 1 hour, and I'm still going strong.
So doing it right is very important. Absolutely. Well, you know, I've had a lot of fun talking about drinking and doing snow. But Chris, I really think you and I are both overdue for a shot at this particular moment. I just want to give the Farwell Nation shout out. I really appreciate you guys listening. If you ever have any questions about how to potentially survive any disasters and how alcohol can play a role in that survival, I'm happy to take emails. Absolutely, I'll try to get back to everybody. I get a lot of attention. So, but looking forward to speaking to everybody. Hey, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, this is Chris and Brendan saying drink more when it snows, and we'll see you next time.